Facts you probably didn't know about WarGames. Matthew Broderick was cast because he looked like a real hacker. The filmmakers wanted someone believable as a curious teenager who could accidentally start World War III. They weren't allowed inside the real NORAD, so they imagined it and built it on their own. The NORAD Command Center set cost $1 million, the most expensive set ever built at the time. The movie made history by introducing the first cinematic use of the word firewall. Even crazier, hacking wasn't illegal yet. After the film shocked audiences and even concerned President Ronald Reagan, real cybersecurity laws were created soon after. After release, hacking attempts spiked in real life because people realized how vulnerable systems were. Many computers didn't even have passwords. One teenager and one game that exposed how close the real world was to accidental nuclear war. Facts you probably didn't know about The Shape of Water. When the film premiered at the Toronto Film Festival, it screened inside the exact same theater used in the movie, meaning the audience was literally watching the theater they were sitting in. Reality and fiction blurred in real time. Guillermodeltoro wrote the script specifically for Sally Hawkins, calling her the only choice, and even created 40-page secret backstories for characters to deepen their performances. After filming exhausting underwater scenes, Hawkins flew straight to shoot Paddington 2 and immediately had to film underwater again the next day. No break. Same nightmare. Meanwhile, Michaelshannon watched the film win Best Picture alone in a bar, quietly drinking a beer, while the movie he starred in made history. A film about an invisible woman and a forgotten creature, about love proving who the real monsters were. Facts you probably didn't know about Terminator Zero. This isn't just another Terminator sequel. It's the first official anime set inside James Cameron's brutal timeline, and it was made darker on purpose. The story shifts the war to Japan and introduces a new scientist racing to stop Skynet, proving Judgment Day wasn't just America's nightmare, it was global. The creators were told one strict rule: don't break the canon. That means Skynet still wins most battles, humans still lose horribly, and there's no safe timeline. Even the Terminator in this series behaves more like the original 1984 version, cold, silent, unstoppable, not the friendly protector audiences got used to later. The animation was handled by Production IG, the legendary studio behind Ghost in the Shell, which is why the machines feel heavy, realistic, and terrifying instead of flashy. This series doesn't try to remake Terminator, it reminds you why the machines were never meant to be beaten. Facts you probably didn't know about They Live. Roddypiper wasn't originally hired for acting skills. Director John Carpenter cast him after seeing him at WrestleMania, believing his face looked like someone who'd lived a hard, real life. That authenticity became the soul of the film. That legendary alley fight between Piper and Keithdavid lasted nearly 6 minutes on screen and took 3 weeks to shoot. Piper helped choreograph it himself, treating it like a real wrestling match. No music, just pain, breathing, and raw realism. The iconic sunglasses revealing hidden messages like obey and consume were done with practical effects, not CGI. Carpenter kept the budget under $4 million, turning limitations into one of the most disturbing social commentaries ever filmed. The movie was dismissed at release, but later became a cult phenomenon, directly inspiring films like The Matrix. Once you see the truth, you can't unsee it. Facts you probably didn't know about Excalibur. Excalibur wasn't made to be a friendly fantasy. Johnboorman wanted it brutal, mythic, and almost pagan. Most of the actors wore real metal armor, which made fight scenes so exhausting that some performers fainted between takes. The blinding green glow of the armor wasn't a lighting trick, but deliberate overexposure, giving the film its dreamlike, legend before history look. Liam Neeson and Patrick Stewart appear early in their careers, years before fame, while Helenmirren's Morgana remains one of the most seductive and terrifying sorceresses ever filmed. The script was heavily influenced by Jungian psychology, treating Arthur's rise and fall as a spiritual sickness of the land itself. Violent, erotic, operatic, and soaked in myth, Excalibur didn't just adapt Arthurian legend, it forged the visual language fantasy films still borrow from today. Facts you probably didn't know about Conan the Destroyer. The production struggled to find a horse big enough for NBA legend Wiltschamberlain. He was so tall his feet touched the ground. They finally located one in Spain and shipped it to Mexico. Chamberlain and Gracejones didn't exactly vibe on set. He kept asking her to turn down her boombox, and during one fight scene, she actually bit his ear. The blood you see is real, and his reaction wasn't acting. It was Jones's first movie role, zero stunt experience, despite that she and Chamberlain performed about 90% of their own stunts. The Dagoth monster, controlled by 6 people operating its arms, mouth, eyes, and body simultaneously. Practical effects chaos at its finest. Even wilder, some scenes were shot at the same time and location as Dune, meaning 2 fantasy epics were being forged side by side in the desert. Bigger swords, bigger egos, real blood. 80s fantasy didn't play safe.